This looks complicated, but watch this. I can show you how easy it is to draw, to simplify this into just shapes. Now, I'm going to start with the apple because it's behind the pear. And I'm going to draw a circle. I'm also going to show you how you can draw it in a square if you can't draw a circle. If you feel that circles are difficult, what I suggest is just going to a new page and just practicing circles. So just take your pencil, don't touch the paper yet, and just go. And just keep doing around, do small ones, do some big ones, and just do a whole page where you're just drawing circles. They don't have to be perfect. Progress, not perfection, right? And just use your whole arm. Don't try and draw it like this. Use your whole arm. And just spin your arm in a circle and then go down on your paper and keep your lines really light. And that way, you don't have to erase because the lines are really light. Okay, so let's start. So that's how I draw a circle, is just spin and draw a circle. So, but if you need to draw a square, say you want your apple this big. Okay, first thing we'll do is draw a line down the center and a line across the center here. So I've got basically a square. If I bring those lines up and down, I've got a square. This apple is pretty much a circle. Comes down a little bit narrow at the bottom, but basically it's a square. So I'm going to just shave off the corners, and I'm going to make this one a little bit narrower at the bottom, so maybe that big at the bottom. Just going to join my lines. See, same here. Maybe a little bit wider at that side. And it's simple. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to be looking at this when they look at your drawing. They're just going to see your drawing. That's all. All right, so there's my first circle. That is my apple. Maybe I'll, bring it out just a little bit more. Now I'm using a 4B pencil, but I do suggest that you start with an H pencil, because the lines, when you draw with an H pencil, you can barely see those lines. If I zoom in, you won't be able to see those lines at all. So then I can come in over with a softer pencil and make my lines a little darker. Next, I'm going to draw my pear. So my pear comes over the bottom of my apple a little bit. So I'm going to draw that first circle. There we go. I'm going to draw a small, so one big circle and one small circle. And maybe or maybe not, it might come over that, maybe not. Now I'm going to do what they call contour lines. I'm going to join this up with contour lines. So contour lines are things that follow the outside, lines that follow the outside of your object. So there we go. There's one contour line, and here's my second contour line. Now, I just barely came over my apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my apple a little bit so that it comes behind my pear. I've got my pear, my apple. I have my little stem. And another stem. So I can see the top of this apple. You can see. So I'm just going to do what they call an ellipse at the top of the apple. So an ellipse is a circle turned on its side. That would be like the top of a cup or something like that. All right, so there's my top of my apple. And then my little stem, My stem has a little triangle on the top. If you see little, there we go. There's my stem. Simple drawing. And if I'm going to watercolor it, I'm going to take all these lines out. This is what you call a gum eraser. It's nice and soft and it will not damage your paper. And that's what you'll use if you're sketching on right directly on your watercolor paper. I don't suggest that you use any other kind of eraser on your watercolor paper because it will damage your paper. All right, that's it. Simplifying your fruit. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.